Hello and welcome to Optics Trade's YouTube channel. Today we'll be reviewing a brand new riflescope series that was introduced this year at IWA fair in Germany. This is the Conquest V4 series by Zeiss. Now we all know that Zeiss is a renowned company with a quite a long tradition in the field of shooting optics. And Victory RF was not the only hit by Zeiss at this year's IWA. These riflescopes also attracted a lot of attention of the curious bypassers at the fair. Now, this is a series that replaced the old Zeiss Conquest DL. With V4, the range of riflescopes is a little bit narrower than it was with the Conquest DL, where the buyer could choose from more models as regards the magnification range. Furthermore, so the Conquest DL riflescopes were Europe-oriented as regards the magnification, while in the new Conquest V4 series there are two American-oriented riflescopes as regards the magnification range. These are 4 to 16 by 44 and 6 to 24 by 50. In the European market, the Driven Hunt Specialist, so the 1 to 4 by 24, and the Twilight Specialist, 3 to 20 by 56, which I have here, will probably be the most popular models because of their magnification range. In Europe, hunters usually don't hunt with magnifications as high as is the case in America, where American hunters some of them prefer higher magnifications. Now, what we miss in this series is a Europe hunting-oriented riflescope with a 50mm objective lens. Since this series features a 4x zoom factor, a riflescope such as 2.5 to 10 by 50 would be a great addition that would definitely be a hit on the market here in Europe. Now, with the introduction of these models from the Conquest V4 series, the Zeiss lineup is now, we could say, complete. We have at the very top Victory V8 for 3,000 euros, then we have Conquest V6 for approximately 1,700 euros, and now V4 will enter the price class of 1,000 euros. So Zeiss has made sure to cover all these price classes. In this price class, so in the price class of Conquest V4, which is 1,000 euros, Zeiss always had a successful riflescope series on the market, and with the V4 they definitely continue that tradition. What I'll talk about in this review is, and what I'll be pointing out quite frequently, is the great price-performance ratio and the optics that are more than decent for the price. Now, before we move on to the general properties, the illumination settings, and so on, it is important to stress that Zeiss Conquest V4 is no longer made in Europe, as it was the case with the Conquest DL and the Duralit, which were the predecessors of the V4. The newly introduced riflescopes are, as you can see, made in Japan. Now, this does not seem to affect the optical quality. There are no major differences if we compare this series to the Conquest DL optically. The fact that they're made in Japan and not Germany is probably not such a game changer as we would expect it to be. Nevertheless, some hunters might be bothered by the fact that this riflescope is made in Japan and not in Germany, since for a price of 1,000 euros, many would expect to get a German-made riflescope. And this definitely is a bold move by Zeiss to choose the series to be manufactured in Japan. We will see with time if this is a great move or not such a great move. Before we start with the individual characteristics of this model here, we have to once again enumerate all the four models, which I already mentioned. So the first one is 1 to 4 by 24 as regards the magnification range. This is a Driven Hunt Specialist with a 4x zoom factor. Then we have the two American-oriented riflescopes as concerns the magnification range, of course, 4 to 16 by 44 for stalking and 6 to 24 by 50, which is made for long-range hunting. These two rifle scopes will probably not sell as well here in Europe, because hunters do prefer a little bit lower magnifications as American hunters. So this is why these two magnification ranges are more American hunting oriented. Then we have the last model, and this is the model that I have here. This is the 3-12 by 56. This is a common, very frequently used magnification range when it comes to twilight and dusk hunting here in Europe. And this is why we think that it will sell well with time, of course. Now, it features the whole series actually features a 4x zoom factor, and the field of view with this model is 12.7 meters on 100 meters at the lowest magnification, so this is quite decent. It is 37 centimeters long and weighs 610 grams approximately. So the models with the American oriented magnification that I spoke about earlier, they come with a BDC turret by default. Now, this model 3-12 by 56 can only be ordered with these classic capped hunting turrets. This is perhaps a little bit of a disadvantage, and it would be great if Zeiss offered this rifle scope with an option of choosing to get the elevation turret as a BDC one. Now that we're talking about the turrets, let's quickly check them out. These are, of course, as I said, classic hunting turrets. They are capped to protect them from blows, impacts. They are, of course, covered. One click equals a quarter MOA, as you can see, which means that one click moves the point of impact for approximately 0.7 centimeters on 100 meters. Clicks are crisp, you can probably hear them quite nice. You can also nicely feel them, and this surface at the top a little bit jagged so that you can get a nice hold of it, get a nice grip, and then rotating becomes easier. Resetting them to 0 is also quite simple. You simply pull them out and align the arrow on the turret with the dot underneath. The windage turret can be reset the same way, you can see. It can also be lifted and moved, and then you can align the arrow with the dot. Now, so the turrets are counterclockwise, meaning that rotating the elevation turret to the left will move the point of impact up, and rotating the windage turret to the left will move the point of impact to the right. This is everything that needed to be said about the turrets of this rifle scope. Let's quickly put them back on and move on to the illumination. 3-12 by 56 comes with radical 20 by default. The radical is situated in the second focal plane. If the buyer prefers the radical 60, a popular radical made by Zeiss, the buyer will have to pay 100 euros extra. The illumination is in the type of the illuminated central dot, which is of course daytime bright also. As regards the dot, the definition is very nice. Just like with the Conquest V6 series, it is nicely adjustable. The definition is great. And the fact that the user can choose from 10 illumination settings is a nice addition, since this way it can be set to fit the ambient light, and then the user can comfortably look through the scope and see the dot in all kinds of lighting conditions. What I also like is that there is an off switch between each individual level of intensity, meaning that, for example, if you set the illumination to level 6, like so, you do not have to turn the turret all the way to turn the illumination off. You can simply move it like so for one click and the illumination will be turned off. And it also means that you can quickly return to the previous illumination. Now here you can see what the reticle looks like, and also a little bit the central illuminated dot. Now it's set to the maximum intensity. The illumination is powered by a CR2032 battery, which you install by unscrewing this cap here and then inserting it. Now the model retails for 1,000 euros, and for the model with reticle 60, the user has to pay for 100 extra euros. So as regards mounting, what is interesting that for now Zeiss does not offer mounting with a ZMVM rail underneath. This applies to the whole Conquest V4 series, unfortunately. And at the moment they can only be mounted with rings. We really hope that in the future Zeiss is going to change this and also offer the option that the user can then choose to get the scope with a rail underneath. Okay, moving on to the scope of delivery. We have here a quick guide. We also have a lens cleaning cloth that you both get in the box. In the box we also have the lens cover for both the ocular and the objective lens. And that's basically it. What's more is that you get 10 years of warranty when purchasing this rifle scope, which is very nice considering that this is a 1,000 euro rifle scope, but they decided to give the buyer a 10 years of warranty that is typical for Zeiss nevertheless. So this is quite a great addition. There is also a CR2032 battery in the box that you get. So we have come to the conclusion of this short review, and it's time to enumerate some great and some not so great characteristics. As the habit, we will start with the good ones, and the good ones are, the first one is definitely the warranty period. 10 years of warranty, as is the case with the other more expensive rifle scopes made by Zeiss, is really great, a great move by Zeiss. Then next we have the price-performance ratio. This rifle scope costs 1,000 euros, and for that price you get a great optical quality. We cannot argue with that. And the third point is that the magnification range, which is 3 to 12 by 56, we anticipate that this model will become very, very popular among European hunters and will eventually sell quite well. Now, the disadvantages of this rifle scope, which also apply to the whole series in some cases, is that the first one is that they are no longer made in Germany, which might be a deal breaker for those who really expect a German-made rifle scope if they pay 1,000 euros or a little bit above that price. So we will see how this turns out. It might not be such a big deal breaker as I think, but only time will tell. The second point is that for now there is no other option to mount this rifle scope than via rings. We hope that in the future Zeiss will add the option of ordering this rifle scope with a ZMVM rail underneath. And the third and the final point, the final disadvantage, is that this rifle scope is not available with a BDC turret. Now a 3 to 12 by 56 model such as this one, for this model it would be great if Zeiss added the option of a BDC elevation turret instead of the classic one, so the user could pay a little extra and perhaps get a BDC turret. Perhaps they will add this in the future. Now, this would be all from my side. If I forgot something, if you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask, send us an email or leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you found the information that I shared with you useful, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I sincerely hope to see you next time.